Chapter 930. I have something to tell you. Li Xinxin didn't want to talk nonsense with him. Speak. Maupassant looked at the sea in the distance. In half a month, the president of K country, Magoo, will secretly transport a batch of weapons to our country. My dad should have told you, right? Yes. Maupassant's tone was still indifferent. Why did you refuse to open fire on B country? Li Xinxin had always thought that Maupassant was her father's obedient man. She had always looked down on this kind of man. She didn't know how important Maupassant's military power was. Maupassant drank his wine slowly. The red wine reflected his face, which was incomparably handsome and flirtatious. The president of B country is upright and loves his people. There has been no conflict with L country. Moreover, B country is just a country and poses no threat to L country. Why would you lead troops to attack it? Don't you know that B country's oil is very precious? If we don't attack them, other countries will attack them sooner or later. That's because other countries are eyeing country B's oil. If we attack them, it's because we strike first and gain the upper hand. If we defeat country B, we can bring this small country to country L. Besides, B country is on the edge of L country. It's not impossible for B country and L country to become one country. Li Xinxin said, paused, and said in a queenly tone, Maupassant, you must lead troops to attack B country. Is L country short of oil? If so, we can establish diplomatic relations with B country and buy their oil. Why open fire? Establishing diplomatic relations is not a matter of life. Turning B country into L country is a matter of life. Maupassant turned and looked at Li Xinxin without any warmth in his eyes. Do you know how many innocent people will be killed if we open fire? As a soldier, you shouldn't have such a kind side. Li Xinxin ordered Maupassant. You have no choice. You can only lead your men to open fire on B country. Maupassant curled his lips and sneered. As a soldier, I protect the country, not hurt other countries. As a soldier, you have to listen to the orders of your superiors. My father is your superior. You're my superior. What level are you? Maupassant looked at Li Xinxin, amused. Li Xinxin was so angry that her face turned red. I'm the princess of country L. You are just a vassal. A vassal has to listen to the princess. What if I don't listen? What era was it now? Why would he listen to a woman? Li Xinxin stared coldly at Maupassant. You dare. Mo Bosun's lips curled into a faint smile. Can you kill me? Maupassant, since you like me, you should work for me. I won't do anything against my conscience. If country B threatens country L and wants to attack country L, I will do my best to protect the country and defeat country B when they open fire. But for now, country B hasn't offended us, and they haven't opened fire on country L. I won't send troops to fight. What do you mean by borrowing troops? Your men are my father's, including you. Li Xinxin pointed at Maupassant. Maupassant looked at her with a half-smile. Is that so? Then let's see if your father can order them without my permission. You're disobeying orders. Maupassant coldly glanced at Li Xinxin, then turned his back to Li Xinxin. He used to think that she was cute and beautiful, but now he felt that she was a ruthless woman. His attitude made Li Xinxin very unhappy. Open fire on country L, and I agree to be engaged to you. Li Xinxin said as if she was coaxing an angry boy. Chapter 931. Then you will call off the engagement after we win the war. Li Xinxin was stunned. She did not expect Maupassant to ask her this question. Wasn't she the first woman he likes? Shouldn't he be happy to be engaged to her? Li Xinxin gritted her teeth. If you are worried about this, we will not get engaged. We will get married immediately. You can get a divorce if you get married. A military marriage cannot be divorced. Li Xinxin gritted her teeth. But you are not some other woman. You are L country's princess. If you want a divorce, will your father not agree? Maupassant, what do I have to do to make you open fire on B country? Magoo had provided you with weapons. What are you afraid of? I am not afraid. I just don't want to hurt innocent people. Since this is the case, you can sneak into B country and kill the B country's king secretly. If you promise to kill the B country's king, I will be yours tonight. Li Xinxin tried to use her beauty to seduce Maupassant into committing a crime. Maupassant frowned when he heard this. I know you have never been in contact with a woman. I had investigated you and Huang Ling from K country. You are clean. Maupassant, do you want to try the taste of a woman? Li Xinxin said as she took off her skirt. Maupassant seemed to be aware of her movement, for he turned abruptly to have a look. Li Xinxin had taken off her shoulder straps to her elbows, revealing her fair shoulders. Maupassant's eyes narrowed and shouted, pull up your skirt properly. Leave now. Li Xinxin took a step forward and smiled, don't you like me? I will give myself to you, and you promise to open fire on B country. As she got closer, the smell of her perfume got stronger. I did not expect you to be such a cheap woman. Maupassant looked at Li Xinxin coldly. Li Xinxin had taken off her shoulder straps, revealing her black bra. Under her bra were her 2 lumps of flesh. However, Maupassant's gaze didn't even spare them a single glance. He turned around and jumped down from the balcony. Below the balcony was the sea. When Li Xinxin saw this, she stomped her feet in anger. She was going to give him the dog that she looked down on, but he still didn't want it. Li Xinxin was not willing to give up and also jumped out of the balcony. After Maupassant fell into the water, he quickly swam towards the shore. Li Xinxin was a little unlucky. After falling into the water, his left leg cramped. She sank into the water and hugged her cramping leg. Only when she was done did she emerge from the water. However, Maupassant was already walking on the beach. He was completely drenched, and his long robe stuck to his body, dripping with water. He looked like Satan walking out of the water. Maupassant, I'm having a cramp. Li Xinxin shouted at him angrily. Maupassant pretended not to hear him and walked toward his villa in a leisurely manner. Maupassant, I'm having a cramp. Come and carry me to the shore. Li Xinxin was so angry that her face turned red. No matter how loudly she shouted, Maupassant didn't seem to hear her. After returning to the villa, he even locked the door and closed the windows on the balcony. Li Xinxin was furious and swore to herself that she must take the military power from Maupassant and hold it for herself. This damned man seemed to have grown wings in the past 2 years and didn't listen to her father at all. After returning to the villa, Maupassant took a shower again, dried his hair, and lay down on the bed. He sent a WeChat message to Huang Ling, Brother Ling, your brother Mo was almost eaten by a wolf. Huang Ling's phone was out of battery and she was taking a walk downstairs with Lu Fengfeng. Therefore, she didn't reply to Maupassant in time. Maupassant waited for a while, but there was no reply. His lips curled into a smile. Was this girl asleep? Chapter 932. Maupassant waited for a while, but she did not reply. He smiled. Was she asleep? Huang Ling accompanied Lu Fengfeng for 3 days before she returned to the Mu estate. After 3 days of recuperation, Lu Fengfeng was in good spirits and rushed Huang Ling back to the Mu estate. As a married daughter, she could not always stay in her mother's house. Moreover, it had been a few nights. It was time to go back and have sex with her husband. Women could tolerate this kind of thing, but men could not. Huang Ling accompanied Lu Fengfeng for dinner before returning to the Mu estate. It was already 8:00 in the evening when she returned. She learned from the maid that Migu had not returned for a day and a night. He was a busy man. Huang Ling returned to her room, took a shower, and lay on the bed to read. As she read, she felt sleepy and fell asleep. Because of the sleepiness, she closed her eyes and fell asleep quickly. In the middle of the night, she was awakened by a pain in her lower abdomen. When she woke up, she felt that her underwear was sticky. This feeling was not unfamiliar to her. Her aunt had come to visit her. Huang Ling got out of bed and took a clean pair of underwear and pajamas into the bathroom. She washed with hot water, put on a sanitary pad, put on her clothes, and came out. The pain in her lower abdomen made her unable to sleep. Because of the pain every month, she prepared brown chaff. She made a cup of brown sugar water and carried it to the balcony. She sat on the stool on the balcony and drank small sips. Qing Wanduo. Stop fooling around. Suddenly, Migu's cold and irritated voice sounded in the quiet night. Huang Ling was shocked by the voice. Migu was back. She shrank back, afraid of being discovered. The balcony of her bedroom was adjacent to the balcony of Migu's. If there was a big commotion, she would be able to hear it from her balcony. You're married, but you sleep in separate rooms. You don't love that woman at all. Qing Wanduo said proudly. I didn't want to wake her up in the middle of the night. Migu, don't lie to me. Do you think I'm a fool? Also, do you think I can't come in just because you used a high-tech door lock? Take your hand back. Migu's voice was slightly hoarse. I knew you were coming back, so I came over overnight to accompany you. Can you bear to chase me away? Migu, are you so heartless? Migu stood on the balcony smoking. Qing Wanduo came over and lifted her leg to step on the railing. Her action was bold and seductive. She lifted her skirt, revealing her fair legs. Under the lights, it was very seductive. He lowered his head and saw that she was wearing a t-shirt. It was a sexy t-shirt. Migu's throat tightened, and he suddenly felt uncomfortable. Since you've already eaten, don't restrain yourself. You'll suffocate. Migu's throat tightened, and his lower abdomen heated up. His entire body felt like it was about to explode. His body temperature suddenly rose, and his blood flowed backward. All of his thoughts were focused on his lower body. Damn! Qing Wanduo, you asked for it. Migu could not take it anymore. He felt as if his whole body was on fire. He immediately carried Qing Wanduo and let her sit on the railing. He rudely tore her skirt and had sex with her. The sounds of a man's heavy breathing and a woman's moaning rang in Huang Ling's ears. Huang Ling was holding a glass of brown sugar water and sat there in a daze. Her face was pale. Migu had returned. He was with Qing Wanduo. Her heart clenched fiercely and then sank, as if it was about to sink into the sea. Huang Ling felt that Migu's actions were very ironic. Where was the respect? Chapter 933. Huang Ling felt that Migu's actions were ironic. What happened to the respect? What happened to trying to get along with her? Huang Ling stared blankly at the brown sugar water in her hand. Was it wrong to choose to get married? The noises from the balcony were getting louder and louder. Huang Ling's heart was aching. She got up and went into the room. She sat on the bed in a daze. They were on the balcony, so she could hear the noises. The noises made her blush and made her want to vomit. Qing Wanduo seemed to know that she was staying in this room and purposely made the noises louder. Which man wouldn't be agitated when he was making such noises? It was ear-piercing and heart-wrenching. Huang Ling put on her earplugs and turned up the music to the maximum to block out the annoying noises. She didn't even know what song she was listening to. Her heart felt like it was being stirred up with a wooden stick. It was very, very messy. She tried to use WeChat and Weibo to distract herself. She scrolled through her WeChat moments again and again. She didn't have many WeChat friends. Her moments were all quiet. Song Wuyo, Gu Yanhao, Maupassant, Su Jing, Lu Jiming, Sister Song, Magu, Ban Jianing, Lu Fengfeng. Ha ha ha, there were only these few people. There were less than 10 of them. Other than Su Jing and Lu Jiming, who would occasionally post on their moments, Gu Yanhao and Migu had never posted a single picture on their moments. Huang Ling wondered if they would even post it on their social media. If they didn't, she would do it. She took out her phone and took a picture of the balcony. Then she wrote, sarcastic. She blocked Migu and sent it again. She had only posted this on her WeChat moments to vent her frustrations. She did not expect that someone would comment on her below so quickly. What happened? Did you quarrel with Zhou Gong? Maupassant's profile picture was changed. Brother Mo's profile picture was also changed to Xingyu. For a moment, Huang Ling couldn't recognize her brother Mo. Seeing that the other party had commented on her, she replied, there was some noise in the next room that made me unable to fall asleep. Very soon, Xingyu sent her a message. You're staying in a hotel. Huang Ling opened the message and saw the previous chat history. Only then did she know that this person was Maupassant. She opened her eyes and typed quickly, Brother Mo, what are you doing in the middle of the night? Don't change the topic. Are you staying in a hotel? Hey, isn't your WeChat name Brother Mo? Why did it change to star language? Because of Li Xinxin. Why are you talking about Li Xinxin again? Which word of star language has anything to do with her? Xan and Xing have the same pronunciation. Little brother Ling, you didn't graduate from kindergarten. Are you sure these two words have the same pronunciation? There seems to be an extra G in the star. The scissors in your profile picture looks a little familiar. Slow brain, slow reaction, and bad eyesight. Identification complete. Fuck, Brother Mo, am I that bad in your eyes? In my eyes, you're not bad, but in my heart, you're bad. I want to pluck your chest hair. You can pluck my chest hair, but not my eagle hair. What's eagle hair? There's an important part of the lower body. Hair grows there. Huang Ling almost burst out laughing when she saw this. Brother Mo, is there a new batch of perverted, dirty little fresh meat in your unit recently? No. Why did you suddenly become so evil? Hee, you must have watched a lot of porn in your previous life. No, I don't know if I watched porn in my previous life, but I've watched a lot in this life. This was Maupassant's joke. He hadn't even watched porn before, let alone porn. Chapter 934. I'm speechless. I know a fake Brother Mo. It must be. Otherwise, the name and profile picture would have been changed. I remember now. This scissor hand is my hand. Huang Ling stared at Maupassant's WeChat name and profile picture in a daze. She remembered that it was her scissor hand. At this moment, her heart suddenly skipped a beat. Her brother Mo used her picture as his profile picture. What was the meaning of this? Slow reaction. Incurable. Maupassant sent these words. Brother Mo, why did you use my hand as your profile picture? Maupassant didn't want to let go. He wanted to use his head. This way, it would be too obvious. His subordinates would know. I'm testing your reaction and observation skills. Brother Ling, you can't do either. Oh. So it turned out that he was testing her reaction and observation skills. Don't stray from the topic. Are you at the Mu estate or the hotel? Huang Ling, Mu estate. Maupassant, why aren't you asleep at this time? Sarcasm. What do you mean? Huang Ling, brother Mo, don't ask. I don't want to talk about it. Maupassant, brother Ling, don't tell me you've been sleeping alone all this time. Huang Ling was a little embarrassed. Yes. Do you feel that your brother Ling is very pitiful? Maupassant, then your husband cheated on you. Since we got married, he hasn't touched you. Instead, he touched another woman. So you feel that it's very ironic. Seeing this message, Huang Ling was a little surprised. Then, she sent a text over. Brother Mo, does your mother know that you're so smart? Maupassant was only wrapped in a bath towel. His upper body was naked, and he was lying lazily on the bed with 2 pillows. Seeing Huang Ling's message, he couldn't help but chuckle. He felt that he was too slow to type, so he sent a voice message to Huang Ling. My mom doesn't know, but my dad does. Seeing that he was sending a voice message, Huang Ling turned off the music and listened to Maupassant's voice message. Upon hearing this, she suddenly felt that Maupassant's voice was very pleasant to the ears. Huang Ling's heart immediately felt comfortable when she heard it, just like the lowest note of a violin. She didn't know why, but every time she heard his voice, her wounded heart would feel as if it had met some good medicine, and she would quickly recover. Huang Ling was afraid that she would record the discordant sound in the next room for Maupassant to hear. She continued to use text to chat with Maupassant. Does your father love you more than your mother? Maupassant's eyes were deep. Brother Ling, are you sad? Huang Ling, a smiling face and a puzzled face. I'm just unhappy. There's no sadness or anger like when you catch your husband cheating on you. Maupassant, if you're only marrying Migu for benefits, before you fall in love with him, don't let him touch you, okay? Huang Ling's heart skipped a beat. Brother Mo is so considerate to me. He's also very manly. He knows the importance of chastity to women. I'll tell him tomorrow that I want to go back to my parents' house. Maupassant, why don't you tell him you want a divorce? Huang Ling was stunned. That's right. Why didn't she tell him she wanted a divorce? When she married Migu, she wanted Qing Wanduo to target her and not hurt Song Wuyo. She also hoped that Migu would like her and his feelings for Song Wuyo would fade. This way, Qing Wanduo wouldn't hate Song Wuyo, and Migu wouldn't affect the relationship between Song Wuyo and her husband. Now, it was different. Migu had already done it with Qing Wanduo. If she said she wanted a divorce, he should agree. Huang Ling said to Maupassant, Brother Mo, I'll talk to him another day. Sigh. Chapter 935. Maupassant, you're sighing. Can't bear to. Huang Ling, no, I'm gasping, not sighing. Maupassant, is the sound in the room next door very loud? Huang Ling, how did you know that there's something going on in the room next door? Maupassant chuckled. Weren't you asleep at this time? Then you woke up and posted this on your WeChat moments. With my intelligence, I guessed right. Huang Ling shook her head. Why? You're all so smart, but I'm so stupid. Maupassant's eyes were full of affection. Of course, even he didn't notice it. I like the silly you. Cute. Huang Ling pursed her lips. I'm your brother. You have to like me whether I'm smart or not. But my boyfriend will despise me. Maupassant, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If he despises you, it's not true love. Huang Ling, I'm gasping again. Maupassant, put in your headphones and turn up the music. Come, let's listen to Did Anyone Tell You? Huang Ling, no, I want to hear your voice. My stomach won't hurt so much when I hear your voice. Maupassant's eyes darkened and a hint of nervousness flashed across his face. Are you sick? Huang Ling, no. Maupassant, who was about to sit up, stiffened. After seeing the 2 words she sent, he lay back down. Period pain. Huang Ling blushed. That's so awkward. You're so smart to be able to guess that. Maupassant smiled disapprovingly. What's wrong with that? Girls don't cry out when they're sick. It's all period pain. Huang Ling, your analysis is very correct. I wonder if a man's stomach pain when he's not sick is also period pain. Maupassant, Brother Ling, men don't have that kind of blood flow. Huang Ling was very happy. Haha, Maupassant, if you're unhappy or uncomfortable in the future, you have to tell Brother Mo, okay? Huang Ling joked, I'm lonely in the room alone. Can I chat with you every night? Maupassant's eyes were smiling. His crossed legs were shaking lightly because he was happy. Of course. Brother is alone in the room alone. Huang Ling, we're 2 pitiful worms. Maupassant struck while the iron was hot. Why don't the 2 of us share a pot and eat together? Huang Ling, we're so far away from each other, how can we eat together? Seeing this message, Maupassant helplessly pursed his lips. Little Brother Ling was really pitifully stupid. Maupassant said, it's too painful to sleep. Drink some ginger soup. Huang Ling said, I drank brown sugar water. The 2 chatted for a long time, and the topics were very broad. Their relationship was very good, and they would never blush because of a dirty joke. Also, Huang Ling liked to chat with Maupassant in this way. Using a chatting tool called WeChat, they chatted for more than 2 hours. Huang Ling was so sleepy that she couldn't lift her eyes. Only then did she end the chat with her brother Mo. After the chat, Huang Ling realized that there was no sound in the room next door. Huang Ling thought that there was no sound. She could sleep peacefully. Ding ding, the phone in her hand rang. It was a WeChat notification. Huang Ling smiled. There was still WeChat at this time. Who else could it be if it was her brother Mo? She already said that she was going to sleep, but she still sent a WeChat message. Brother Mo was such a night owl. She opened WeChat and saw that it was a joke. A hungry wolf hunted a farmer and heard the woman scolding the child in the house. If you cry again, I'll throw you out to drink the wolf. The child cried the whole night. The wolf waited until dawn and finally sighed with tears in his eyes. Liar. Women are all liars. Chapter 936. When Huang Ling heard this, she couldn't help but burst out laughing. Before she could reply, another message came from Ding Ding. Another joke boldly got off work early and found out that his wife was having an affair with the secretary. Oldly was so scared that he ran back to the office and sighed, that was close. I almost got caught by the leader. Huang Ling was once again laughed at by the joke. She put the phone close to her mouth and said softly, Brother Mo, sleep early. Stop looking for jokes. If we don't sleep now, it'll be morning. Maupassant sent a serious emoji and then sent a voice message with his deep and magnetic voice. Brother Ling, facing it doesn't have to be the hardest. Being lonely doesn't have to be unhappy. Getting it doesn't have to be for long. Losing it doesn't mean you won't have it anymore. Don't fall in love because you're lonely. Don't fall in love because you're lonely. Huang Ling wanted to say something, but when she saw Maupassant's message, she suddenly didn't know what to say. She thought that this was another joke that Maupassant found on the internet. But after reading it, it wasn't a joke. He said it to her very seriously. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent her a serious emoji. If there really comes a day when someone who can't come back disappears, or someone you can't leave, it's okay. Time will bring the right person to your side. Before that, what you have to do is take good care of yourself. Huang Ling stared at her phone in a daze. Was Brother Mo addicted to sending? Huang Ling didn't reply immediately. She thought that Brother Mo would continue to send. Yes, Brother Mo would continue to send, but it wasn't a joke or a truth. Instead, it was, let's sleep together, don't reply. Ugh, finally willing to sleep. Huang Ling didn't sleep immediately. Instead, she repeatedly read the 2 messages that Maupassant sent her. Don't fall in love because you're lonely. Don't fall in love because you're lonely. Why did she feel that it was like her and Migu? Migu had Qing Wanduo. Would he still be lonely? Would time really bring the most correct person to a person's side? Huang Ling didn't know, but she knew that Maupassant had put in a lot of effort. He hoped that he could face everything bravely. He hoped that he could protect himself and take care of himself. Brother Mo, thank you. Good night. Huang Ling smiled at the phone. After putting the phone away, the room next door was no longer noisy. Huang Ling's stomach didn't hurt anymore, so she fell asleep quickly. Maupassant sat up. His body was slender and strong. He called his mother that very night. The phone rang for a long time before the other party picked it up. A sleepy voice came through, Sen, why are you calling me so late at night? Maupassant gently smiled and asked, Mom, how can a girl's monthly dysmenorrhea be cured? The other party was obviously stunned. After a long while, he asked, you have a woman? A friend of mine. Sen, when did you have a female friend? Why didn't Mommy know? Don't you know now? How old is the girl? Is it a girl or a woman? A girl. The only way for a girl to cure her dysmenorrhea is to find a man. A man? Maupassant was dumbfounded. How could a man cure a girl's dysmenorrhea? If it's a girl, find a man to have sex with and it won't hurt anymore. If it's a woman, she should be suffering from gynecological diseases. You have to see a doctor, not ask Mommy. Mommy, she's a girl. Is she by your side? If she is, have sex with her. Chapter 937. When Maupassant heard this, he face-bombed. Was this what his gentle mother had said? Maupassant said, Mom, even if she's by my side, I can't have sex with her. Are you going to let me run the red light? Sen's mother said, that's true. Then wait for the red light to pass before you have sex with her. I guarantee she won't be in pain next month. Maupassant said, you asked for nothing. I'm going to sleep. Sen's mother said, Sen, who is this girl? You called me in the middle of the night to ask me. This girl must be very important to you, right? Don't lie to me. Friends. Lovers. What's there to be shy about? The more Sen's mother spoke, the more excited she became. She was not wearing any pajamas at all. Maupassant said, she's not in L country. Sen's mother said, Xin. Sen, Xin agreed to be with you. Maupassant's eyes darkened and he was a little annoyed. It's not her. Sen's mother said, that's good. To be honest, I don't like her. Don't make a gentle woman like me into a vicious mother-in-law. Maupassant chuckled. If I give birth to many grandchildren for you, will you still be vicious? Sen's mother was very excited. Of course not. But will Xin give birth? Maupassant was speechless. I already said it's not her. Sen's mother asked, who? Maupassant said, a homeless girl. Sen's mother, when Huang Ling woke up the next day, it was already past 10 in the morning. Last night, she had chatted with Maupassant for a long time before going to bed. She slept until dawn. Here, she could get up at any time she wanted. No one dared to wake her up. As she washed up, she thought about what she would say to Migu later. After thinking it through, she went downstairs. She ate breakfast and waited for Migu nervously. She didn't know if Ching Wanduo had stayed over. If he had, that would be even better. She made it clear in front of them so that Ching Wanduo wouldn't find trouble with her anymore. She finished her breakfast, but Migu didn't come downstairs. Was it because he was too tired last night, or did he wake up and do it again? Was he doing it now? Huang Ling waited in the living room for about 30 minutes, but she still didn't see Migu come down. Huang Ling thought to herself, did he go out? She asked the maid, has Sir gone out? The maid shook her head. I haven't seen Sir today. Huang Ling really wanted to go upstairs, but then she remembered that he was still doing it. It was better to wait. Sooner or later, it would end. Another half an hour passed, and the person she wanted to see still hadn't come downstairs. Huang Ling had no choice but to call Migu. The call went through and Migu answered, Huang Ling, what's the matter? Huang Ling heard the horn of the car and was surprised. Are you outside? Back to the ranch. I have something to do. Then, when are you coming back? I'm going to England after I'm done with the ranch. So, he would be busy for the next few days. What's the matter? Migu asked. Huang Ling smiled. It's not a big deal. We'll talk about it when you come back. Migu, my mom wants me to go home and accompany her. Yes, you don't have to ask me for permission to go back to your parents' house. Huang Ling, I'm not such a domineering person. Before Huang Ling could say anything, Migu interrupted her. I got it. I'll hang up first. After hanging up, Huang Ling didn't think much about it. She wasn't unhappy that Migu wasn't at home and that he would come back to have a meal with her before going out. She took her car keys and wallet and left the living room. She met Uncle Fu at the entrance of the living room and told Uncle Fu that she was going back to her parents' house. Uncle Fu didn't stop her and let her go. Chapter 938. Huang Ling didn't expect that this time, she would stay at her mother's place for half a year. In the past 6 months, she had only spoken to Migu on the phone 3 times. These 3 calls were all when Migu returned home and didn't see her, so he asked if she wanted to go back and have dinner with him. But every time, after Huang Ling agreed, she would receive a call from Migu on the way home, saying that he had something to do and had to go to this country immediately. Busy, busy man. Huang Ling could also see him on TV often. He was really busy. He had just taken office and had to visit many countries, establish diplomatic relations, and negotiate. Other than that, there were also many things in the country that needed his attention, such as the ongoing flood in the south. In the past 6 months, Huang Ling had been walking between Lu Fengfeng and Song Wuyo. Of course, she also chatted with Maupassant on WeChat and on the phone every day. Although this kind of life wasn't fulfilling, Huang Ling didn't feel any pressure at all. Moreover, Little Treasure could sit and smile. When she saw her, she would giggle and dance excitedly for her to carry her. Little Treasure grew prettier and cuter. Every time Huang Ling arrived at the manor, she would carry her for the whole day. Even Song Wuyo was afraid of her. This guy liked Little Treasure to this extent. Today, Huang Ling arrived at Wuyo's manor early in the morning. Song Wuyo had just fed her avocado. The huge living room, the toy room, and Gu Yanhao's bedroom were filled with all kinds of little toys. Little Treasure, who had just finished her avocado, was sitting on the carpet in the living room, playing with her little toys. When she played with her little toys, she would turn on the TV to listen to the sound. She especially liked to watch a shampoo commercial. When it came to this commercial, she would watch it intently and with great interest. Little Treasure, Xiling. Huang Ling came in and looked at Little Treasure with a face full of smiles. Her voice was soft and sweet when she called Little Treasure. As soon as Xiao Bao heard Huang Ling's voice, he raised his head abruptly and smiled at Huang Ling. He was extremely cute. Hee hee. Ah ah. Xiao Bao waved his arms and legs, wanting Huang Ling to hug him. Seeing Xiao Bao's smiling face, Huang Ling's heart melted. Huang Ling walked over, picked Xiao Bao up, and kissed him on the cheek. It smells so good. Little Treasure smells so good. Hee hee. Little Treasure laughed. Song Wuyo came out of the dining room with the porridge that Sister Song had cooked for Xiao Bao. Come on, let me feed him. Huang Ling wanted to compete with Song Wuyo when it came to taking care of Xiao Bao. Okay, you do it. Song Wuyo listened to Huang Ling, as long as Huang Ling was happy. Last night, Country L fired at City A of Country B. It said that Country L used a very advanced weapon to attack City A of Country B. There were heavy casualties. The big TV in the living room was playing the military news. Huang Ling caught the words, Country L. Holding Xiao Bao in her arms, she turned around and stared at the TV. The TV was showing the aftermath of the attack. Buildings had collapsed, and there were ruins everywhere. There were dead or seriously injured children, the elderly, and pregnant women. It was very pitiful. Was it Maupassant's doing? Was it Maupassant and his men who attacked City A? Huang Ling's face darkened. She knew that soldiers had to protect the country, and sometimes they had to fight. But when she saw the screen, those seriously injured children and elderly who were crying in fear and running around, Huang Ling felt bad when she thought that these people were injured by Maupassant. What could not be solved? Why did they have to use war to solve it? Brother Mo had no choice. He was just a soldier, and he had to listen to the president, right? Start a war. Was Brother Mo hurt? Was he in danger? Huang Ling started to worry. Song Wuyo was also shocked. Country B was attacked by Country L. Chapter 939. Song Wuyo and Gu Yanhao had been to Country B before. When the president of Country B heard that they were in Country B, he even welcomed them warmly. He brought them to visit the ancient culture of Country B, to see the beautiful tourist attractions, and to taste the delicacies of Country B. Song Wuyo could still clearly remember the smiling face of the president of Country B. It was so real, so warm, and so kind. If it was said that the most distant leaders of other countries used their authority to conquer the country, then this old president used kindness and love to protect the country. Country B was not big, but the president was good, and the standard of living in Country B was also very rich. The social welfare was so good that the people did not want to emigrate. Moreover, under the leadership of the president, there were basically no corrupt officials. The whole country was very good. Country B's geography was good, and the standard of living in this small country could be rich because of oil. Gu Yanhao had mentioned to Song Wuyo before, don't be fooled by the countries that cooperate with Country B for oil all day long. In fact, they are all eyeing Country B's oil covetously. They appear to be friends, but they are actually enemies. However, the bombs invented by Country B's military are very powerful and can protect the country. Looking at Country B's City A, which had been attacked by the war and turned into ruins, Song Wuyo felt that the world was really unpredictable. This era looked peaceful, but in fact, it was like her previous life. Everywhere was filled with smoke, and the flames of war would break out at the slightest disagreement. In this era of war, the most pitiful people were the ordinary people. A bullet fell from the sky and blew up the entire area. People were injured, and people were killed. It did not matter if the people living in that area were the elderly, children, or even pregnant women who could not resist. Song Wuyo had been on the battlefield for 8 years in her previous life. On the battlefield, other than the soldiers, no one would hurt the innocent people. In Country L, Song Wuyo pursed her lips and looked at the TV indifferently. Country L was Li Xinxin's country. Even as a daughter, she was so vicious. Her father must be ambitious. I heard that Country B is a good country. I even discussed with my mother about traveling there, Huang Ling said with pity as she hugged baby Chu. Such a good country was actually attacked, and by Country L. I feel that the world is not peaceful. It's better not to go anywhere. It's safer here, Song Wuyo said. Wuyo girl, you're wrong. It's not safe. It's not safe anywhere. Look at the TV. How many homes have been bombed? Aren't they staying at home? When a bomb fell, the entire building was blown up and collapsed. The death was even more tragic. If you're crushed and haven't breathed your last, you can only wait for death in the dark. It's really tragic. Huang Ling's eyes flashed with a touch of sadness. Why did Brother Mo lead troops to attack Country B? He told me before that he would not agree to Li Zhongjin's request. But now, why did he agree to it? Country B had always abided by the rules and had no intention of attacking any other country. Brother Mo, he's killing people in disguise. Looking at the injured children and women walking out of the ruins, Huang Ling's heart was indescribably heavy. Their homes were destroyed, their loved ones had passed away, they were seriously injured, or they had become orphans. If such things happened to her, wouldn't her heart hurt? The night before, they were still on WeChat. Maupassant did not mention a word about this. Huang Ling pursed her lips. Brother Mo, you actually learned to hide things from me. Huang Ling handed baby Chu to Song Wuyo. Wuyo, carry baby Chu. I'll call Maupassant. Song Wuyo carried baby Chu. At this time, Maupassant should be fighting. Can you get through to him? Chapter 940. Huang Ling took a deep breath and said, I'll try. Song Wuyo didn't say anything else. She hugged little treasure and sat down on the fabric sofa next to her. Xiao Bao's black eyes sparkled as he looked at Huang Ling. He looked so adorable that water could flow out of water. Huang Ling keyed in Maupassant's number and pressed the dial button. Hello. The number you have dialed is not in the service area. A robotic and sweet female voice came through. Not in the service area. That meant that Maupassant wasn't in L country, but was in B country. Huang Ling put down her phone and said to Song Wuyo with disappointment, Maupassant still followed Li Chongjin's wishes and attacked B country. I wonder if he has decided to be with Li Xinxin. Song Wuyo frowned slightly. What do you mean? Huang Ling sat down. She didn't know why, but when she thought of Maupassant being together with Li Xinxin, she felt a little sad. It was as if Li Xinxin had snatched away her favorite and most beautiful dress. And this time, Li Xinxin would only ruin the dress if she snatched it away. She looked at Song Wuyo and said, Maupassant told me that Li Chongjin was going to attack B country. He didn't agree, but Li Chongjin didn't dare to fall out with him. So, he asked his daughter, Li Xinxin, to persuade him with her beauty. As long as he led the troops to war, Li Xinxin would get engaged to him, or even marry him and become his woman. Song Wuyo saw Huang Ling's disappointed expression. So, you don't want Maupassant to be with Li Xinxin? Huang Ling raised her eyebrows. Wuyo, do you think Li Xinxin is compatible with Maupassant? I'm not talking about family and background. I'm talking about character and character. Li Xinxin is too vicious. He doesn't deserve a man as good as Maupassant. Song Wuyo looked at Huang Ling, not missing any expression of Huang Ling. What if Li Xinxin changes for Maupassant? Huang Ling smiled bitterly. Will I? Song Wuyo said, nothing is absolute. Besides, Maupassant's attack on Country B might not necessarily be on this condition. Huang Ling, if Maupassant and Li Xinxin get married, what will you do? Huang Ling stared blankly for a moment. Her eyes were a little evasive as she said with a guilty conscience, of course I wish him well. Really? Won't you be sad? Huang Ling's expression became even more unnatural. She dodged her gaze and did not dare to look at her and little treasure. She could only look around. What a joke. I treat him as an elder brother. If my elder brother marries my sister-in-law, of course I have to give my blessings. Why would I be sad? Although she said so, why did a touch of bitterness pass through her heart? Song Wuyo saw through her but did not expose her. She kindly reminded her, if you are not happy with Migu, and Migu has no feelings for you, you can leave to pursue your own happiness. For the past 6 months, Song Wuyo and Huang Ling had been together every day. Moreover, she often talked about Maupassant in front of her. She did not know if it was because she was a bystander, but she found that Huang Ling liked Maupassant more. When Maupassant was mentioned, her eyes lit up and she was full of spirit. As for Migu, she rarely mentioned him. Even if she did, her expression was very indifferent. Song Wuyo felt that the man Huang Ling liked was Maupassant. Moreover, Maupassant was also quite good. He was very concerned about Huang Ling. Huang Ling pursed her lips and murmured, I don't even know where my happiness lies. Huang Ling's dazed gaze settled down and she looked at Little Treasure. When Little Treasure met her gaze, he giggled. Huang Ling's heavy heart instantly melted and softened. She smiled. My happiness is Xiaobao. Chapter 941. Hee hee. Hee hee. Little Treasure seemed to be able to understand her and laughed happily. The two women heard her laughter. It was crisp, childish, and adorable. Huang Ling looked up and saw that Song Wuyo was looking at her. She didn't seem to believe her at all. Huang Ling pursed her lips and said faintly, Wuyo, if Maupassant finds happiness, I will really give him my blessings. I'm unhappy because I think that B Nation is quite good, and I have no intention of attacking L Nation. If Maupassant hurts B Nation's people for a woman, I will be disappointed and unhappy. Men shouldn't hurt the innocent for their feelings, especially when it was a matter of national importance. Such a man would only be killed in the future, right? If Maupassant really listened to Li Zhongjin and went against his conscience to attack B Nation just to get Li Xinxin, Huang Ling would really be disappointed. In this way, when Maupassant married Li Xinxin in the future, he would only be led by the nose by the father and daughter. Song Wuyo's gaze was indifferent. I'm also very surprised that L Nation attacked B Nation. It's very sudden. Before this, I've never heard of Li Zhongjin visiting B Nation or having an unpleasant encounter with the president of B Nation. This war seems to have happened so suddenly that B Nation's national defense was caught off guard. Li Zhongjin's actions are too vicious. Huang Ling was a little worried. If Brother Mo colludes with them, he will become vicious sooner or later. Migu had just returned to M City and was standing in front of the window. He hadn't even finished a cigarette when Gu Yanhao came. Gu Yanhao was very domineering. He didn't give Migu's personal assistant a chance to report and directly entered Migu's office. Hearing the footsteps, Migu's gaze was cold. He turned around and saw Gu Yanhao. He raised his eyebrows. Ah ho. Recently, they had been busy with their own affairs. Gu Yanhao was busy with business and he was busy with politics. They rarely got together. As soon as Migu came back, Gu Yanhao came. Migu thought that Gu Yanhao missed him, so he smiled. Miss me? Do you want to ask me out for a drink or dinner tonight? Gu Yanhao exuded an unruly domineering aura. He stood in front of Magoo and asked coldly, "Are you making weapons for Country L?" Magoo smiled elegantly. "This started half a year ago. You only know about it now. Is it over?" "And a 2-ton bomb. Country L used our weapons to attack Country B, didn't you know?" Gu Yanhao's eyes were cold. Magoo raised his eyebrows and his expression darkened. He felt that Gu Yanhao was questioning him. Moreover, he didn't like being questioned at all. He was the president. Gu Yanhao's question, his tone, his gaze, and his boldness. It made Magoo feel that Gu Yanhao was the president and he wanted to listen to him. Magoo sat down, took a drag of his cigarette, and slowly exhaled the smoke. The white smoke lingered, making Magoo's face even colder. He looked up and glanced at Gu Yanhao, then smiled. "I established diplomatic relations with Country L and made weapons for them. Country L will also give Country K benefits. As for how Li Zhongjin uses these weapons, it's none of my business. Look, which country would make weapons for other countries? Aren't you afraid that Li Zhongjin will bite you back and target Country K?" When Magoo heard this, he couldn't help but laugh. "Our country produces weapons. Would Li Dijin be so stupid to use tofu against a rock like me? What benefits did Country L give Country K? Money? Or something else?" Gu Yanhao asked coldly. Chapter 942. Magoo raised his chin and looked at Gu Yanhao with a half-smile. "Ah ho, you don't need to know what benefits L country has given K country. Do I have to tell you everything about the terms and conditions of my negotiations with those countries? You're just a businessman now and you're not qualified to get involved in politics. Ah ho, go back and take care of your business. If you're free, spend more time with Wuyo and Xiaobao. You don't have to worry about the weapons. Do you know what kind of situation B country is in now? L country launched a surprise attack. Do you know how lethal the weapons made by K country are and how many people they've killed? If K country doesn't provide weapons to L country, given that L country is a laughingstock for backward countries, even if there were 1,000 Maupassant, they wouldn't dare to touch another country," Gu Yanhao said coldly. Magoo's gaze turned malicious when he heard this. The corners of his mouth curled up, but there was a sharp glint in his eyes. "Ah ho, what are you trying to say?" Gu Yanhao said bluntly, "Terminate the supply of weapons to L country. Without weapons, B country will have a chance to fight back and attack L country." Magoo frowned when he heard this. His deep gaze was cold as he stared intently at Gu Yanhao's face. "Ah ho, aren't you meddling too much? You're the president. Whether or not to terminate diplomatic relations with L country, I'll decide, not you. I'm very unhappy that you're meddling in other people's business. I just don't want to see the casualties in B country. B country is not a vicious country, and the president is not a wolf. He won't take the initiative to attack others." Ha! Magoo looked as if he had heard a big joke. His cold eyes flashed with ridicule. "Ah ho, being a merciful president will only destroy this country. We don't have to worry about the casualties in B country. The country's leaders will deal with it. Moreover, I'm prepared to be the fisherman who reaps the benefits." When Gu Yanhao heard this, he raised his eyebrows and looked at Magoo inquisitively. Magoo laughed and asked, "You don't understand what I'm saying? Ah ho, Country B has sufficient oil resources. When Country L is almost done fighting, I will make my move. This way, all of Country B's oil will belong to Country K. Therefore, we can't stop the supply of weapons to Country L for the time being. I'm in a hurry. I have to send a batch of weapons to them as soon as possible. Magoo, supplying weapons to Country L is not your goal. Your goal is to obtain Country B's oil, isn't it? Magoo shrugged and put out the cigarette. You can say that. If K Country needs oil, they can talk to B Country about cooperation. Why do they have to hurt the innocent? Magoo looked at Gu Yenhao unhappily. Ah ho, when did you become so compassionate and emotional? Haven't you always been vicious and merciless? Just like the Axe dynasty. Motherfucker, don't mention the Axe dynasty to me. The times are different now. If you want something, you don't have to fight anymore. Money will do. Magoo's gaze was cold. That's what you do as a businessman. You've changed. You weren't like this before. I haven't changed. I just want to make K Country stronger and improve the standard of living of the people. So that they can all agree that you're doing a good job as president. As long as they can live well and have a stable life in K Country, what's wrong with that? What about Country B? They also want a stable life. If Country B is attacked, it can only mean that their president is useless and useless. Chapter 943. Gu Yenhao's delicate features were tense as he gritted his teeth. You bastard. After an unpleasant conversation with Magoo, Gu Yenhao left the Dragon Palace with a belly full of anger. Magoo sat on the chair with a cold expression. At the same time, he was also full of anger. He felt that Gu Yenhao should not meddle in his affairs. If outsiders knew that he was meddling in his affairs, wouldn't he be a coward as the president? Actually, he did not care if he could be the president or not. He was already the president, and Gu Yenhao should not meddle in his affairs. In the past, when he was at the ranch, he did not meddle in his affairs like this. Now that he was the president, he started meddling in his affairs. Did he think that it was all his credit that he could become the president and that he had to listen to him? This was meaningless. Wasn't it normal for two countries to go to war? Moreover, it was Country L that was attacking Country B, not Country K. Magoo smoked cigarette after cigarette before he could calm down the anger in his chest. This damned Ahau, he was really meddling in other people's business. When Gu Yenhao returned to the manor, Huang Ling had already gone back. After having dinner with Song Wuyo, he went back to the bedroom to take a shower. After the shower, Song Wuyo had already coaxed Little Bao to sleep. Little Bao slept in the same room as them. Gu Yenhao had ordered a very comfortable crib for Little Bao. This crib could be pushed, and even 5-year-old children could sleep in it. Gu Yenhao had a bath towel wrapped around his lower body. When he came out of the bathroom, he saw Song Wuyo standing in front of the crib, bending over and gently covering Little Bao with a blanket. Gu Yenhao walked over and hugged her from behind with one hand. He placed it on her belly and the other hand on her butt. A wave of heat enveloped her entire back. Strong male hormones spread throughout her body. Song Wuyo turned around and smiled shyly. I haven't showered yet. Sister Song said that you taught Huang Ling how to swim in the afternoon. Aren't you going to wash up? It's been 2 hours. I don't mind. Gu Yenhao lowered his head and sniffed her neck. I like your smell. Don't wash it. If you wash it, it'll smell like shower gel. You don't seem happy today. Song Wuyo noticed it when they were eating. Gu Yenhao said in a low voice, I'm not happy, so you have to coax me. You're not little treasure. Do you still need to coax such a big person? Can you tell me why you're unhappy? If you make me happy, I'll tell you. Song Wuyo held his face and said in a gentle tone, Da Bao, be good. If there's anything you're unhappy about, you have to tell me, okay? Wifey, do you know that you're very tempting to me? Gu Yenhao said as he looked at her tender and red lips. Song Wuyo blinked with an innocent look. Don't I seduce you all the time, no matter what I look like? Gu Yanhao's eyes were burning. You're especially tempting to me now. Especially here. Gu Yanhao lowered his head and pecked Song Wuyo's lips. Song Wuyo's face was pink like a shy young girl. She blinked gently. Her long eyelashes were like ink fans, moving gently. Gu Yanhao kissed her eyebrows. You taste so good. Wifey, kiss me, okay? Song Wuyo smiled gently. She raised her hands and hooked them around Gu Yanhao's neck, slowly delivering her kiss. Her kiss was imprinted on his thin and cold lips. Then, she mischievously nibbled on them. Her actions made Gu Yanhao immediately react and feel uncomfortable. Chapter 944. Gu Yanhao responded to her, gently sucking on her seductive lips. Her lips were soft, tender, and tasted very good. Gu Yanhao held the back of her head with one hand and held her waist with the other. He kissed her harder. Song Wuyo responded to him, and the two kisses were inseparable. When they were deep in love, the panting Song Wuyo hugged his body. Xiao Bao is here. Let's go to the bathroom. Gu Yanhao smiled, his eyes burning. His voice was low and hoarse. Okay. He couldn't wait. 2 hours later, half a day later, the husband and wife hugged each other and lay on the bed. Song Wuyo had her back to Gu Yanhao. Facing Xiao Bao, her face still had the lingering charm of Gu Yanhao's love for her. She looked at Xiao Bao gently. Xiao Bao was sleeping soundly. She was very sleepy and very obedient. Every night, she would go to bed at 7:00 sharp. She would be fed once in the morning and then sleep until the sun rose. Gu Yanhao hugged her waist from behind. His large palm covered her lower abdomen, and a warm feeling came over her. The man's sexy thin lips curled up slightly, revealing a satisfied smile. Even though he was full, he was still restless. From time to time, he would kiss the back of Song Wuyo's neck. Or from time to time, he would touch her breasts, which had not only not shrunk after giving birth, but had also become fuller. Or, his fingers, which were like electric currents, followed the lines of her waist and slowly moved towards her legs. His teasing could always easily make Song Wuyo tremble. I like it here more and more. Gu Yanhao's hand returned to Song Wuyo's chest. Are you satisfied? Song Wuyo suppressed the feeling caused by him rubbing. I'm satisfied, but I still want more. He was full of energy in this aspect. Why are you not happy today? I didn't have a good talk with Migu. Song Wuyo chuckled. Because of what happened in B Nation. The reason why Country L had the guts to attack Country B was that Migu had provided them with weapons, and they were very lethal weapons. Song Wuyo was surprised. Why would Migu do that? Gu Yanhao's eyes darkened. I don't know. He said it was for oil. For the sake of oil, there's no need to start a war. How many people's homes will be harmed? Where's Migu's conscience? Probably eaten by a dog. 3 days later, another batch of new weapons will be shipped to Country L. Song Wuyo was shocked. Then, can't Country L continue to attack Country B? Then wouldn't Country B be finished? Ah ho, in the X dynasty, if you encounter such a problem, you can borrow troops to help whichever country you want to protect. Gu Yanhao smiled and kissed Song Wuyo's shoulder. You want me to help Country B? I just don't want to see the president of Country B cry. He's really a kind old man. Kind is not good. Do you want him to be like Qing Jinshin? Wuyo, you don't have to think too much about this kind of thing. This is a country. In Migu's words, we have no right to interfere. I still want it. No. I'm tired. That's it. Gu Yanhao pushed his waist and wanted to do it from behind. Song Wuyo turned over and faced him. Ah ho, Huang Ling can't contact Maupassant. Why do you want to contact him at this time? Gu Yanhao lifted Song Wuyo's leg with one hand. Song Wuyo knew what he wanted to do and stopped his hand. In front of the child, don't. From tomorrow night onwards, let her sleep with Sister Song. No. Then satisfy me. The next day, Gu Yanhao went downstairs in high spirits. On the spiral staircase with bronze carvings, the landline in the living room rang. Sister Song, who was watering the flowers, came to answer the call. Then she looked up and looked at Gu Yanhao. Young Master Gu, a man named Maupassant is looking for you. Chapter 945. Gu Yanhao raised his eyebrows when he heard that. Maupassant. Gu Yanhao quickened his pace. When he walked in front of Sister Song, she handed him the microphone. He stood there straight and put the microphone close to his ear. Maupassant, he asked calmly. The day after tomorrow, a cargo ship with the K country's trademark will transport a large number of weapons from the direction of the Pacific Ocean to L country, the other party said unhurriedly. Gu Yanhao raised his eyebrows. Do you need me to do something? Work together to blow up that batch of weapons. Blow it up. Magoo will produce another batch. Blow up this batch first. Ching Chungjin is ambitious. He won't be satisfied no matter how many weapons we give him. Blowing up the weapons is not the best way. If you don't want to see B country continue to suffer casualties, you should stop fighting. I didn't fight. Those soldiers were led by Qingguijin's cousin. A hint of surprise flashed across Gu Yanhao's deep eyes. Maupassant didn't listen to Qing Chungjin and didn't lead the soldiers to fight. With your power, you should be able to stop the firing. Young Master Gu, Li Chungjin is the president. No matter what, he is the highest leader of L country. I can only resist his orders, but I can't stop him from giving orders to others. Gu Yanhao thought for a moment and asked in a low voice, tell me what you need me to do, or let me know your plan. What? Li Chungjin flew into a rage when he heard the news brought back by his secretary. He looked at the secretary with a gloomy expression. The cargo ship was blown up. All the weapons are gone. Seeing his terrifying expression, the secretary tried his best to calm himself down and nodded. Yes, they were all burned down. Did you find out the reason? Li Chungjin roared in anger. He still wanted to rely on this batch of weapons to continue firing at B country. It was one of our people. He was smoking and accidentally threw the cigarette butt on the pile of gunpowder, igniting the gunpowder. Damn it. Where are the people who smoked? They couldn't be saved in the hospital. They died. Bastard. Li Zhongjin slammed the table so hard that it almost cracked. His eyes were like torches, and his neck was red with anger. He stared at the secretary and shouted hysterically, help me contact Magoo from K country. The previous batch of weapons had been used to attack City A and Country B, and they were almost used up. At this time, if they didn't have enough weapons and soldiers, and Country B counterattacked, Country L would lose miserably. The secretary nervously contacted Magoo. The call went through, but Magoo's special assistant told him that their president was in a meeting and was not free. Qing Chungjin suddenly became as anxious as an ant in a hot pot. Call his cell phone, not the landline. Damn it, who would stay at the landline all day? The secretary said in a trembling voice, Your Excellency, I just called your cell phone. Damn it. Not a single weapon is complete. Your Excellency, this time we were transporting gunpowder and bombs. They exploded and there's nothing left. Maupassant, help me find Maupassant. That guy, I know he's hiding weapons. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so arrogant and dare to disobey my orders. The secretary obediently contacted Maupassant. After the call went through, he passed the microphone to Li Chungjin. Li Chungjin said coldly, "Maupassant, I order you to bring your men to the front line immediately." Maupassant's lazy voice came through. "Your Excellency, I said before that I'm not participating in this war. It's boring." Li Chungjin smiled coldly. "I heard from Xin that you have a very important woman in K country called Huangling." Chapter 946. Maupassant, who had just come out of the base to practice Qigong, was still in the forest. This was an island, a mysterious island dedicated to his troops. After he planned to blow up the weapons, he came to this island to train. He knew that Li Zhongjin would definitely come looking for him after the cargo ship exploded. But he didn't expect that he had his eyes on his girl. Maupassant's footsteps suddenly stopped. The sun shone through the leaves and sprinkled on his body. He suddenly exuded a ruthless and cold aura. "Sir, what do you want? You're a smart person. You should be able to guess what I want." Maupassant curled his lips in disdain. "You think you can threaten me? Don't tell me that the woman who couldn't be more ordinary isn't important to you. You don't even like Xin, so she must be important. Being important and being able to threaten me are two different things. Sir, don't touch my bottom line. If you fight, I'll pretend that I don't know anything. Otherwise, I'll make your Huangling your dead woman." "Sir, I forgot to tell you. Huangling is K country's president's wife." "What did you say?" Li Zhongjin's expression changed. "I don't believe it. Xin said that woman has no family background, no figure, no looks, no education, and no good job. How can she be K country's president's wife? Also, you dare to fool around with K country's president's wife. Aren't you afraid that Migu will kill you?" After saying that, Li Zhongjin thought for a moment and suddenly laughed. "Maupassant, you need to be good at lying. Isn't Migu's woman Qing Wanduo? He's not married yet. How can he have a wife?" This wasn't the first time Li Zhongjin saw Migu with Qing Wanduo. Although he heard from Li Xin that it was Qing Wanduo who was pestering Migu. But both he and Li Xin knew that Qing Wanduo was Migu's woman. "You don't have to believe me, but you can try to touch her." After that, Maupassant hung up the phone. Maupassant's face was gloomy. Only a despicable man would use a weak woman to threaten someone he couldn't beat. Rustle, rustle, suddenly, there was a commotion behind him. Maupassant's eyes turned cold. He quickly turned around and pulled out a pistol from his waist. Before the huge cobra could touch him, he opened fire and blew off the head of the cobra that was pouncing on him. Looking at the bloody snake head, Maupassant sneered in disdain. A mere cobra wanted to attack him from behind. Putting away his gun, Maupassant walked towards the only villa on the island while calling Huangling. His footsteps were steady, and when he stepped on the dry branches, a kacha-kacha sound could be heard. Unable to contact Maupassant for the past few days, Huangling was like a walking corpse. Other than carrying Xiaobao, she was listless in everything she did. She was worried that Maupassant would be injured in the war or leave her, but when she saw the tragic situation in B country, she comforted herself. Since B country was beaten so badly, it proved that L country was very powerful. Maupassant should be fine. But when she thought about it, B country was not beaten by Maupassant alone. Even if Maupassant was injured or dead, L country could still beat B country. She panicked at the thought of something happening to him. If it weren't for Maupassant's timely call, she would have boarded the plane to L country to find him. When Maupassant called, the girl was already packing her passport and luggage, ready to leave. Brother Mo, Brother Mo. Seeing that it was Maupassant, she held the phone with both hands and shouted excitedly. Unknowingly, tears overflowed from her eyes. Where are you now? Maupassant's magnetic voice came through. Preparing to go to the airport. Traveling. No, I'm going to L country. When Maupassant heard this, he was very nervous. His heart was in his throat. Don't go. I forbid you to go. Chapter 947. When Maupassant heard this, he was extremely nervous and his heart was in his throat. Don't go. I won't allow you to go. The deafening roar stunned Huang Ling of Brother Mo. Maupassant asked nervously and anxiously, Where are you now? At home. Huang Ling replied and then asked worriedly, Brother Mo, I know you're in L country. I went there to look for you. Maupassant's heart skipped a beat. Why did he feel touched that a girl had crossed the border to look for him? He was relieved that she was still at home. When Maupassant saw a wolf appear in front of him, he raised his eyebrows and stopped. He leaned against a tree, his figure slender and his posture lazy. His voice was pleasant as he said to the little one on the phone, Haven't you never been abroad before? You're a road idiot. What if you get lost in L country? Aren't you the famous chief of L country? When I get off the plane, I'll ask them where Maupassant lives so that I won't get lost. Little idiot. Brother Mo, where are you? Are you at the front line? Are you seriously injured? Others are the ones who are seriously injured. Your brother Mo is fine, little idiot. You're always thinking nonsense. When Huang Ling heard this, she heaved a sigh of relief. Thank God, he wasn't injured. After thinking for a while, she asked again, Brother Mo, why are you attacking B country? Are you preparing to get engaged to Li Xinshin? When Maupassant heard this, he raised his eyebrows. This girl, a sly look flashed past his brown eyes. He curled his lips and smiled lightly. Yes, we're getting engaged. When Huang Ling heard this, she didn't know why, but her legs gave way and she fell onto the bed. Her phone slipped and fell from her hand onto the bed. Maupassant heard the sound of something being thrown to the ground. He raised his eyebrows and asked, Brother Ling, are you okay? The wolf in front of him was already walking towards him, but Maupassant acted as if nothing had happened. Huang Ling picked up the phone, only to find that her fingertips were trembling. Sure enough, he led the troops to battle because he could get engaged to Li Xinshin. It's nothing. My hand slipped and I dropped my phone while I was packing. Huang Ling smiled and tried her best to sound as normal as possible. Maupassant frowned. He could not hear a trace of sadness in her voice. Brother Ling, I entered the army when I was 18. It was at that time that I met Li Xinshin. She came to the army with her father to join the army. Oh, at that time, she was very young and inexperienced, completely different from the person she is now. I like girls who are kind and passionate. Although she was unruly in the past, she was not as vicious and ruthless as she is now. She's a woman I've known for a long time. I've always thought that she would be my wife in the future. Because her father mentioned her in front of me all day long, and more than once, he wanted us to become in-laws. That's because Li Chengjin valued your ability, idiot. This time, Li Chengjin and Li Xinshin gave me the biggest temptation to attack Country B. I've told you before. Huang Ling listened quietly. But I rejected this temptation. Huang Ling was very surprised. Why? Don't you like Li Xinshin and want to marry her? No, I don't like Li Xinshin. She's completely changed. Just like how I want to eat this kind of cake. When it's fresh, the boss won't sell it to me. When it's spoiled, he sells it to me. Do you think I'll eat it? Huang Ling smiled. Of course not. Also, there are many flavors of cake. Chapter 948. You mean, you don't like Li Xin and don't want to marry her? Just throw away the spoiled cake. Don't be sad. If you eat it, won't you be the one who gets sick? Brother Mo, it's so profound. I don't understand. Huang Ling was shocked. But you just said that you are engaged. Are you engaged to another woman? The engagement is a lie. Maupassant raised his eyebrows. Really? Huang Ling was surprised. She suddenly had a feeling that her brother Mo would not be ruined. Are you excited? Maupassant's eyes flashed. Of course. You are such a good man. If you are engaged to Li Xin, it will be a waste. You said that spoiled cake will harm the body. Of course, I don't want to see your body get better. I want you to be in good health. Huang Ling said happily. Maupassant raised his eyebrows and looked at the wolf in front of him with some displeasure. This girl. Is this her reaction? So, Brother Mo, you are not at the front line. I am on an island. Why didn't you contact me these days? The phone is not in the service area. I thought. What did you think I was? Maupassant waved at the wolf. The wolf suddenly raised its head and howled. Huang Ling heard the wolf's howl and jumped in fright. She stood up. There is a wolf. Yes, there is more than one. Huang Ling was shocked. Are you alone? Can you deal with it? I can't deal with it alone. At this time, the wolf had already come to Maupassant's side. Maupassant squatted down and touched the wolf's fur. This wolf looked very docile and liked Maupassant's touch. When Maupassant touched it, it obediently squatted down and rubbed its head against Maupassant's feet. Hurry up and hang up the phone. Brother Mo, if you can't win, climb up the tree and let your brothers come and save you. Huang Ling said anxiously. After saying that, she wanted to hang up the phone. Maupassant chuckled softly and said in a gentle voice, Silly girl, these wolves are all my brothers. Ha! Huang Ling was stunned for a moment. IJ, say something, Maupassant said gently to the wolf. Roar! The wolf was very obedient and barked. It was not loud, but Huang Ling heard it. IJ. Huang Ling's eyes twitched. Even wolves had names. You scared me to death. Maupassant, speak more fluently in the future. Huang Ling's heart was beating up and down today. If this continued, it would be easy for her to have a heart attack. Huang Ling rarely called Maupassant by his full name. When Maupassant heard this, he laughed. His clear laughter passed into Huang Ling's ears through the phone. A ripple appeared in Huang Ling's heart. I've always been fluent. Those wolves were raised by you, and you're still scaring me. When did I scare you? You said there's more than one. There's more than one. There are hundreds of wolves, tigers, and lions on the island. Huang Ling's interest was piqued. They all listen to you. Yes, Brother Ling, do you want to come here? It was safe here, and Li Zhongjin couldn't find her. Yes. Huang Ling's eyes were filled with longing. Can I bring my mother over? We want to travel. Maupassant curled his lips. Bringing her mother couldn't be better. But Maupassant's eyes darkened, and he said to Huang Ling, Brother Ling, divorce Migu. Huang Ling was stunned. Why? Maupassant pursed his beautiful thin lips, his eyes locked on IJ's eyes. At this second, he thought a lot. Finally, he mustered up his courage. His voice was low and magnetic. That voice seemed to be able to hook souls. I want to be with you openly and above board. Chapter 949. When Huang Ling heard this, she suddenly felt like her heart was pounding. Her heartbeat was slow for half a beat at first, then it started to beat violently. It was like riding a roller coaster. At first, it was a few steps forward slowly, then it stopped, and then it rushed out quickly. It made people's hearts beat like thunder, and they wanted to scream and shout. Huang Ling's fingers stiffened. Her phone slipped and almost fell out of her hand again. She suddenly came back to her senses and quickly retracted her fingers to hold the phone that was about to leave her hand. What did Brother Mo mean? If they were good friends and good brothers, she didn't need to get a divorce at all. They could play together openly. Unless they were a couple. Huang Ling was shocked by these two words, and her whole body quivered. Was her brother Mo confessing to her? In her two previous lives, when she was Song Wuyo, she met Gu Yanhao, and the original owner had a boyfriend named Zhang Dong. Now, her husband was Migu. To be honest, after living two lives, this was the first time she had such a strange feeling of her heart being pounded. It was like the first awakening of love, full of a young girl's heart and a sense of longing. After waiting for Huang Ling's response for a long time, Maupassant chuckled softly, and his voice was even deeper and mellower. Huang Ling. This time, he directly called her name to let her understand his feelings more clearly. Huang Ling, who was in a daze, trembled violently when she heard Maupassant's voice. I'm here. Her heart raced, and she felt her chest tighten. She even stuttered when she spoke. Do you understand what I mean? Maupassant gently stroked Aegis's head, and his gentle voice was like a low violin music. In Huang Ling's ears, it could steal her soul. Brother Mo, you mean, you want to be with me? Huang Ling swallowed and tried to calm herself down. Yes. After taking the first step, Maupassant didn't want to hide anymore and boldly admitted it. But, do you like me? Maupassant suddenly asked. Do you like me? Huang Ling did not know what was going on. Or do you think I have no future and don't dare to be tempted by me? No future. Huang Ling didn't understand what Maupassant meant. He was the chief, a dignified soldier. How could he not have a future? Damn it, if he had no future, then she, Huang Ling, would have no future either. I'm just a soldier. I have to listen to the president, and it's very dangerous. It's just like how Qing Chengjin wanted to capture you to threaten me if I didn't lead my troops to fight. I know him. Once he captures you, not only will he threaten me to fight, but he'll also force me to give up my territory and military power. Then, he'll make the military government listen to him. That way, I'll have nothing. Huang Ling was shocked. Your president. Li Xinxin said so. Then, will I be in danger? Maupassant chuckled. Are you afraid? Huang Ling shook her head. No. Her gaze became determined. Brother Mo, even if I'm captured by Li Chengjin's men, I won't give him a chance to threaten you. I'll bite my tongue and commit suicide. So, don't believe anything he says to threaten you. When Maupassant heard this, he raised his eyebrows and pondered for a moment. Then, he said in a deep voice, I'll protect you. He won't be able to catch you. Although he wasn't by her side, he would still protect her. Huang Ling smiled. I believe you. Now, can you promise me that you like me and are willing to be with me? Chapter 950. Brother Mo, I'm married. Huang Ling pursed her lips and said, You're very outstanding. You should find someone of equal social status. Bullshit. Maupassant suddenly said something very rude. Huang Ling was stunned for a moment before she suddenly smiled. Being with a soldier all day long was very manly and rude. Maupassant heard her laughter and asked, "What are you laughing at?" "Nothing, Brother Mo. If I marry another woman, will you be happy?" Huang Ling's eyes darkened. She probably wouldn't be happy. "Are you sad that Migu is with Qing Wanduo?" "No, I'm just disappointed. He said that he would respect me after marriage, but he didn't." And she was a little angry, so she had never returned to the Mu estate. "I asked you if you would be happy if I married another woman. You didn't answer me, but you answered the latter question. Can I take it that you like me?" "Brother Mo, you're suddenly telling me this. It's too sudden. I need time to digest it." "I'll give you time. If you agree, I'll take you to the magical beast island." "If I don't agree, can't I go to see your island?" "You can, but not now, lest others say that you're having an affair." "Huang Ling, I'll give you time to think about it." After hanging up the phone, Huang Ling sat there in a daze. Brother Mo said that he wanted to be with her. Brother Mo actually liked her. Huang Ling raised her eyes and looked at the dressing table in front of the bed. In the mirror, her clear face was reflected. Huang Ling looked at herself in the mirror. What did she do to deserve Maupassant's words? She was just an ordinary girl. "Agi, do you think she can be your sister-in-law?" Maupassant touched the wolf's head and asked gently. Aegis made an sound, as if to say, "Yes, yes." Maupassant's lips curled up slightly. His eyebrows were sharp and his eyes were bright. He was incomparably handsome when he smiled. His facial features were deep. Wearing a coat, he had a graceful bearing. He was a handsome man who was masculine and firm. "If you say you will, then you definitely will." I really like her. I've never liked her like this before." Maupassant raised his eyes and looked at the environment in front of him. This island was densely packed with towering trees. To outsiders, it looked like an island forest. But it was actually Maupassant's place. This island was close to France. The beasts on the island had long been tamed by him and all of them listened to him. He did not come here often, but his people would come regularly to deliver food to them. If it were any other forest, tigers, lions, and wild wolves, they would have killed each other long ago. As for his beasts, they were very united. If there was more food, they would eat more together. If there was less food, they would eat less together. Moreover, the big ones would give in to the small ones. Humph humph. Agi made two more sounds that were obedient to Maupassant. Maupassant looked at Agi. "I'll turn this place into our home and bring her here to live. From now on, we'll live here for the rest of our lives. What do you think?" When Agi heard this, its eyes shone with excitement. It stuck out its tongue and licked Maupassant's arm. Maupassant understood what it meant. It liked it very much and was looking forward to it. Maupassant patted its head gently. "Walk forward. There's a snake. Go and eat it." Hearing this, Agi got up, walked around Maupassant, and walked behind him. Chapter 951. Maupassant turned around and looked at Agi's figure with a faint smile. His gaze was deep and thoughtful. "Huang Ling, I'll wait for your good news." 2 hours later, Huang Ling arrived at Wuyo's manor. She told Song Wuyo what Maupassant had said to her. Song Wuyo had already guessed that Maupassant liked Huang Ling. Therefore, she was not surprised at all when she heard Huang Ling's words. She looked at Huang Ling with a smile. "What do you think of him?" Huang Ling was a little regretful. "If I hadn't married Migu, I would have definitely agreed." Song Wuyo smiled. "Actually, you like Maupassant. You don't dare to accept him because you're married to Migu, right?" Huang Ling's ears turned slightly red and she looked slightly embarrassed. Her expression was one of shyness. If she could make herself shy at the mention of a man, it proved that this man had a special place in her heart. She liked this man. Song Wuyo felt very gratified. Huang Ling finally had a man she liked. And this man was Maupassant. Maupassant and Gu Yanhao planned to blow up the weapons that K country was transporting to L country. Song Wuyo found out about it. Not only did Maupassant not bring soldiers to attack B country, but he also went against Li Zhongjin's wishes and took a great risk to blow up the entire cargo ship's weapons because he did not want to see any casualties. From this, it could be seen that Maupassant was a man who was responsible, righteous, responsible, and knew how to weigh the pros and cons. This kind of man could be relied on for the rest of her life. Huang Ling, you and Migu didn't get married because of feelings. Tell him that you have someone you like. He will agree to get a divorce certificate with you. Will he? Huang Ling was a little worried. Didn't you say that he's with Qing Wanduo now? I mentioned it before, but he didn't agree. That's because he hasn't been with Qing Wanduo yet. Huang Ling, since you and Maupassant really like each other, don't ruin your life's happiness for this meaningless marriage. What's more, I can see that Maupassant is really in love with you. From the Heavenly Thunder disease incident, I could tell that you are very important to Maupassant. Song Wuyo tried her best to encourage Huang Ling to pursue her own happiness. I'm just an ordinary woman. What's there to make him feel important? Huang Ling smiled and said so, but in her heart, there was a trace of inexplicable sweetness. How could she not know that Maupassant had treated her well during the Heavenly Thunder incident? It was just that at that time, she, who didn't know anything, thought that it was his concern and concern for his brother. Today, after Maupassant explained his feelings to her, she thought about it carefully. The reason why Maupassant treated her so well was that it had long surpassed the feelings of a brother. Silly, he fell in love with you. You are the most important person to him. He loves you as a person, not because of your family background or your identity. He likes me, but it doesn't mean that his family will accept me. Huang Ling once committed suicide by jumping off a building for a man named Zhang Li, and then remarried. If his family finds out about this and doesn't accept me, what should I do? Huang Ling, you think too much. Song Wuyo smiled. Don't worry about that. Gu Yanhao's low voice came in. Huang Ling and Song Wuyo looked over at the same time and saw Gu Yanhao walking in gracefully. His posture was tall and slender. After he looked at Song Wuyo dotingly and gently, his dark eyes locked on Huang Ling's face. Maupassant is not bad. You will be very happy with him. Chapter 952. Huang Ling was speechless. Gu Yanhao continued, Maupassant's mother is a beautiful French woman with an open mind. I heard that other than Li Xinxin, she doesn't have any objections to him marrying anyone else. As for his father, although he's from country L, he's more open-minded than his mother. He even said that as long as the Mo family can have children, even if it's not a woman, it doesn't matter if it's a pig or a cow. When Huang Ling heard this, she almost burst out laughing. Would her brother Mo be with a pig or a cow? Just by listening to Gu Yanhao's words, Huang Ling felt that Maupassant's family was very cute and should be easy to get along with. Gu Yanhao looked at Huang Ling, so, Maupassant's family shouldn't be interested in your past. Huang Ling looked at Gu Yanhao. How do you know so much? Are you friends with Maupassant? Maupassant is quite influential in country L. I've met his parents, Gu Yanhao said. This time, Maupassant had helped him destroy the weapon sent by country K to country L. Gu Yanhao felt that this man was very close. After talking to Gu Yanhao and Song Wuyo, Huang Ling's thoughts became clearer. She wanted to go back and divorce Migu. She liked being with brother Mo, and brother Mo liked being with her. They shouldn't let a meaningless marriage certificate ruin their happiness. When Huang Ling returned to the Mu estate, it was already dinner time. Coincidentally, Magoo was there. Magoo sat elegantly on the expensive fabric sofa in the living room. He was reading a military book in his hand. When Huang Ling came in, he seemed to have heard her footsteps. He looked up at her. Huang Ling was wearing a Cheongsam-style dress today. The light purple dress made her complexion even more rosy. Her thick black hair fell straight down, and the hair on both sides of her ears was pursed to the back of her ears. Paired with this Cheongsam-style dress, it made her look pure and beautiful. In the past 6 months, Magoo had gone to Lu Fingfing's house to have a meal with the mother and daughter. Then, he left in a hurry. Now that he thought about it, they hadn't seen each other for 3 months. Unexpectedly, this woman had become even more beautiful. She had learned a lot from Song Wuyo. At the very least, Song Wuyo had taught her a lot about dressing up. When he was free, he would teach her how to play the guqin and kong ho. Sometimes, when Huang Ling did not sit properly, Song Wuyo would point out her mistakes. When she walked, her legs would bend like a figure eight, and Song Wuyo would strictly ask her to correct it. Huang Ling was not as enchanting and charming as Qing Wanduo, nor was she as noble and elegant as Song Wuyo. However, she was still very eye-catching when she stood among a group of women. Her facial features were beautiful, and she was simply a beauty if she dressed up a little. "You're back." Magoo's gaze circled Huang Ling's body. Let's not talk about Huang Ling's appearance, but this dress showed off her figure perfectly. Her chest was firm, and her butt was perky and round. Her legs were slender and fair, and she had a pair of good-looking little feet. She was wearing size 36 shoes. Magoo thought to himself that it was time to find a teacher to teach her a foreign language. He wanted her to learn more about dressing up from Song Wuyo, improve her temperament, and learn a foreign language. Then, she could announce to the public that she was his wife. Yes. Huang Ling smiled. Have you eaten? Magoo put down the book in his hand and said in a low voice, No. Huang Ling smiled. I haven't eaten either. Let's eat together. Chapter 953. It wasn't a bad idea to talk about the divorce while eating. Huang Ling realized that she was really restrained when interacting with Magoo. She didn't dare to show too much of her personality because she had a lot of concerns. When she was with Gu Yanhao, she wasn't restrained and felt very natural. When she was with Mo Policin, he completely exposed her good and bad sides. Her personality was completely exposed. She ate rudely, didn't sit properly, didn't stand properly, and ate skewers while walking on the street. She could easily show these in front of Maupassant. In fact, this was her true personality. Therefore, she liked to be with Maupassant. This way, she was very happy and relaxed. Magoo put down the book in his hand and looked at Huang Ling. This dress suits your temperament very well. Huang Ling smiled. What temperament do I have? It's already good enough that I don't look old-fashioned. Magoo curled his lips. It's quite beautiful. Huang Ling smiled. Thank you. When Magoo heard this, he raised his eyebrows and looked deeply at Huang Ling. Huang Ling, we're husband and wife. You seem distant and polite. When the husband praised the wife for her beauty, the wife should smile sweetly or happily go into the husband's arms and let him kiss her. When he mentioned that they were husband and wife, Huang Ling's expression changed. They were husband and wife, but she fell in love with another man. Sir, madam, dinner is ready. At this moment, a young maid came out of the dining room. When she saw Huang Ling, the maid was slightly stunned. They hadn't seen her in the Mu estate for so long. They thought that Sir had divorced her. They entered the dining room and sat down. Huang Ling held a carved silver spoon and slowly drank the soup. She was thinking about how to speak to Migu without angering him. After pondering for a long time, Huang Ling finally mustered the courage to raise her head and look at Migu. Migu, I want to ask you a question. Migu put down his spoon and was about to pick up his chopsticks to eat. Hearing Huang Ling's words, he paused and looked up at her with a deep gaze. Ask away. Do you like Chingwan Duo? Huang Ling asked. Migu frowned. Why do you ask? Why did he ask? If Huang Ling liked him, she would definitely flip out. Fortunately, she didn't like him. They were husband and wife, and he was having an affair with Chingwan Duo. Did she need a reason to ask this question? Huang Ling thought it was ridiculous. Sigh, forget it. They would not be husband and wife soon. Because I have someone I like. Huang Ling lowered her dark eyelashes. Migu raised his eyebrows. Maupassant. He knew that Maupassant was the only man by Huang Ling's side. Although they weren't in the same country, they chatted happily every day through the internet. Moreover, when she was infected with the lightning, Migu saw how nervous and worried Maupassant was about her. Huang Ling was stunned. She didn't expect Migu to ask so directly. Huang Ling looked up and looked at him faintly. Yeah. Then she said anxiously, I don't want to lie to you. I want to confess everything to you. Migu, I still don't dare to like you. Migu's gaze was locked on her face. So, you came back tonight to ask for a divorce? Huang Ling nodded calmly. Yeah, I know you married me because you were afraid that I still have feelings for Housie and that it would affect our relationship as husband and wife. You married me because you hoped that I would like you and stop thinking about Housie. Chapter 954. But right now, I know what I want. I no longer have any romantic feelings for Housie. Right now, the one I think about and miss every day is Maupassant. Migu, I don't want to lie to you. You can rest assured that after we get a divorce, I won't affect their relationship as a couple. Moreover, when that time comes, you can openly be together with Chingwan Duo. As long as she can be with you, she won't cause trouble for Wuyo. If she's pregnant, you can even give her and the child a warm home. Migu's eyes flickered. He didn't want to divorce Huang Ling, but since she confessed to him that there were no feelings between them, he had no reason to tie her down. Moreover, Chingwan Duo could satisfy him in bed. Huang Ling took the initiative to ask for a divorce. Although the male chauvinist Migu was unwilling, he didn't want to make things difficult for her. After all, they were already acquaintances. Even if they couldn't be husband and wife, it wasn't bad to be friends. Just as he was about to say that they would go to the Civil Affairs Bureau together another day, his personal bodyguard walked in. When Migu saw him, he swallowed the words that were at the tip of his tongue. When the bodyguard saw that Huang Ling was also there, he hesitated for a moment. Then he lowered his head and put his mouth close to Migu's ear, whispering something softly. Huang Ling just happened to meet the bodyguard's somewhat secretive and guarded gaze just now. She knew that they didn't want her to hear what they were saying. She didn't want to hear it either. She lowered her head and drank the soup, even deliberately making the sound a little louder. After the bodyguard finished speaking, Migu's entire face suddenly became incomparably gloomy and cold. After saying that, the bodyguard got up and glanced at Huang Ling. Huang Ling was still drinking the soup. Gulp gulp, a look of disdain flitted across the bodyguard's eyes. Madame was so boorish. She didn't have any nobility in her movements at all. You can leave. Migu waved his hand at the bodyguard. After the bodyguard left, Migu's expression and eyes were terrifyingly cold. Their bodies emitted a cold, ruthless, and gloomy aura. These mixed auras were like a central air conditioner, exuding from his body with a whooshing sound. Huang Ling felt a terrifying gaze staring at her, which made her scalp tingle. Therefore, she raised her eyes and looked at Migu gently. Seeing Migu's expression suddenly become like a ghost that had just walked out of hell, Huang Ling's heart trembled violently. Huang Ling frowned in confusion. Migu, did something happen? Divorce? Don't even think about it. Migu said. When Huang Ling heard this, she was surprised. There are no feelings between us. Will we be happy if we are bound by a marriage certificate? Migu's eyes were cold as if covered with a thin layer of ice. Huang Ling felt as if she was covered with a thin layer of ice, and a chill ran down her spine. He stared at her coldly. Binding you to my side, at least I'll be happy. Huang Ling was even more surprised. Migu, I didn't do anything to let you down in our marriage. Why do you have to make things difficult for me? You said that you would respect me after marriage. When you didn't bring Qingwan Duo home for the night, she also had a part in it when you went abroad. Now, people outside are talking about how you, who is single, will soon marry Qingwan Duo. Is this your so-called respect? Now, I'm asking for a divorce, and you still don't agree. Why? Did he not want to marry Qingwan Duo? Because I won't satisfy Maupassant so easily. Damn it, he actually worked together with Gu Yanhao to burn the weapons sent to Country L. In fact, this batch of weapons belonged to Country K. Whether they were destroyed or not, it didn't affect him at all. However, the one who was destroyed was his good brother Gu Yanhao. Chapter 955. Li Zhongjin didn't have the ability to find out who caused the explosion. But it didn't mean that Migu couldn't find out. Although Gu Yanhao and Maupassant tried their best to destroy all the clues. But in the end, God didn't disappoint him. He finally found out who was the mastermind behind the explosion. His brother, Gu Yanhao, actually teamed up with Maupassant to toy with him. Just now, the bodyguard whispered in his ear to report to him who was the mastermind behind the explosion. It was Gu Yanhao. It was actually Gu Yanhao. Migu was very angry. Gu Yanhao was really bold. He actually dared to go against him. That's right. He felt that Gu Yanhao was going against him. The furious Migu naturally wouldn't divorce Huang Ling, divorce him and let her be with Maupassant. Maupassant actually dared to team up with Gu Yanhao to toy with him. Naturally, he wouldn't let Maupassant get Huang Ling so easily. Yes, he wouldn't let Maupassant get Huang Ling. He didn't have a good impression of Maupassant. Now that he knew that he was the mastermind behind the explosion, Migu didn't have a good impression of him. He even felt that they had become enemies. Maupassant was worried about Huang Ling. Of course, he wouldn't let Huang Ling go to him easily. How dare he toy with him? Maupassant, I won't divorce Huang Ling. Let's see what you can do. Let me go. Not to satisfy Maupassant, but to satisfy both of us. Huang Ling sounded a little anxious. If Migu didn't divorce her, then she couldn't be with Maupassant. Suddenly, Huang Ling regretted getting a marriage certificate with him so hastily. Back then, when she thought that Qingwan Duo and Li Xinxin wanted to hurt Song Wuyo, she couldn't think of anything else. The only thing she thought of clearly was Song Wuyo's life. She couldn't let anything happen to Song Wuyo, so she chose to marry Migu so that it would be easier to protect Song Wuyo. Now that she thought about it carefully, she felt that this method was really hasty and impulsive. Gu Yanhao knew that Qingwan Duo and Li Xinxin wanted to hurt Song Wuyo. Would he not protect Song Wuyo? Migu nodded. His eyes were cold and his attitude was resolute. He would never divorce Huang Ling. Huang Ling had mixed feelings in her heart. She calmly looked at Mugu and said, "Mugu, don't make things difficult for me, okay? I really like Maupassant." Mugu stared coldly at Huang Ling's little face. "Do you know who was the one who destroyed the weapons on the cargo ship?" A second ago, this man's expression was still considered gentle. When he heard that she had someone she liked and guessed that it was Maupassant, he didn't have such an expression. Huang Ling believed that if the bodyguards hadn't come in, he would have agreed to divorce her. In the next second, his entire expression and aura changed. Now that he asked, Huang Ling looked at him in surprise. Maupassant. Otherwise, Mugu wouldn't hate Maupassant so much. Indeed, when Mugu heard the three words Maupassant from her mouth, his eyes were filled with murderous intent. "That's him, but there's another person." Mugu looked at Huang Ling coldly and said with a vengeful tone, "That person is Ah Ho. I've been brothers with Ah Ho for more than 20 years. I won't pursue the matter of the cargo ship explosion with him. But Maupassant, I'm sorry. I'll make him pay a heavy price." Maupassant blew up his country's weapons, not Korea's. "Why do you have to make things difficult for him?" Huang Ling said anxiously. Mugu wanted to make Maupassant pay a heavy price. What was that for? Huang Ling was very worried about Maupassant's situation. Chapter 956. If Li Zhongjin were to find out that it was Maupassant who had blown up the weapons that he needed the most, he would definitely chop Maupassant into pieces. Huang Ling bit her lower lip. Her tender red lower lip was bitten until it turned white, and there were even teeth marks. She looked at Mugu. Didn't he bring her home to K country? Why did he still care if she liked his weapons? Mugu sneered. "I'm not stupid enough to send my wife to the hands of a man who can't wait to kill me." Huang Ling's heart turned cold when she heard that. "We're not a real husband and wife." Mugu sneered. "I can make us a real husband and wife." Huang Ling's face changed when she heard that. She looked at Mugu in disbelief. You're really not willing to divorce me?" Mugu nodded. "If you like another man, I might consider letting you go. However, the one you choose, is Maupassant." Huang Ling was very puzzled. Her heart trembled. She looked at Mugu. "Why can't it be Maupassant? Do you have a grudge with him?" Mugu looked at Huang Ling coldly. "He blew up the entire cargo ship's weapons. Does that count as a grudge? That's from L country. What do you know about a woman's family?" Mugu didn't care about the weapons. What he cared about was to benefit from it. What he wanted was B country's oil. He could also take the opportunity to take B country into his own pocket and strengthen K country. When that time came, the people of the country would feel that he had incomparable prestige. What he couldn't do in his previous life, he wanted to complete in this life. However, when he was about to succeed, Ho and Maupassant ruined it. Mugu was furious. "I don't understand the matters between you men, but I beg you, let me go." Mugu stood up and walked towards Huang Ling step by step with a strong pressure. His gaze was like a sharp sword that could cut Huang Ling's flesh and bones. Huang Ling raised her head and looked at him. She was on guard. Why did he come over? Mugu stopped in front of Huang Ling and suddenly pinched Huang Ling's chin. He bent down slightly and looked at her with a gloomy gaze. "Let you off? Did I make things difficult for you? Did I mistreat you? Have I ever abused you?" The strength of his fingertips was so great that Huang Ling felt a burst of pain, as if her bones were about to break. "You're with Ching Wanduo every day, and you even brought him back to your residence. That's the greatest abuse you can give me." Huang Ling looked straight at Mugu without fear. This Mugu made her a little angry. What else? Will you let me ride on top of you every night? Magoo's eyes were cold as he curled his lips. Tonight, lie on the bed and wait for me. Wash yourself clean. I don't want Maupassant's smell to remain on your body. When Huang Ling heard this, she felt that Magoo was humiliating her. She stared at Magoo and said without fear of death, "You've changed. You're no longer the Magoo that I know. I really regret it. I regret being so careless and believing your nonsense about me being honorable and getting a marriage certificate with you." Magoo gritted his teeth. "I'll make you regret it even more." Huang Ling's words were a blow to him. He was the president of a country, and she actually regretted marrying him. She actually liked Maupassant. Which part of him, Magoo, was not inferior to Maupassant? Even if he did not like Huang Ling, he was not prepared to let Huang Ling not like him. He felt that the reason why he did not like Huang Ling was because Huang Ling was not on the same level as Song Wuyo. He knew that she was good to Song Wuyo, but her appearance was not as good as Qing Wand was. She actually dared to say that she regretted marrying him instead of thanking the heavens. Chapter 957. Magoo smiled and let go of Huang Ling. His smile was extremely cold, like a demon coming out of the night. Seeing this, Huang Ling's heart trembled. She thought to herself, could it be that I'm going to become his tonight? No. She would not let him have his way. She regretted it even more. Huang Ling was like a deflated ball. She was limp and her fingers were trembling slightly. After Magoo stopped pinching her chin, he turned around and strode out of the dining room. Outside the dining room, he must have bumped into Uncle Fu. He warned him coldly, "Keep an eye on Madam. Don't let her go out and seduce other men." Huang Ling was shocked when she heard this. Was Magoo going to put her under house arrest? She quickly took out her phone and called Song Wuyo. Just as she reported to Song Wuyo that Magoo refused to divorce her, Uncle Fu walked in. His attitude towards Huang Ling was still respectful, but his words made Huang Ling want to slap him. "Madam, please give me your phone. Don't fool around behind young master's back in the future." Huang Ling was anxious and put away her phone. "I'm not fooling around outside." It was Magoo who was fooling around outside, not him. Young master said that in order to prevent Madam from being deceived by people with bad intentions, I will keep Madam's phone temporarily. If Madam wants to contact her friends or relatives, she can call me in front of me. If Madam resists and wants to keep your phone, then I can only interfere with the signal and Wi-Fi in the residence. At that time, not only Madam, but also everyone in the residence will not be able to use the phone and internet normally. I'm not fooling around outside. If I let you keep my phone, how can I contact Wuyo? Huang Ling was going crazy. At the same time, she felt that she would end up in a tragedy. Magoo, this bastard. Young master, I don't dare to disobey young master's words. Please don't make things difficult for me, Uncle Fu said. Do I have to ask you for it whenever I want to call you? Huang Ling stared at Uncle Fu and asked. Uncle Fu nodded. That's what young master said. Okay, I'm going to call Mrs. Gu now to ask about Xiaobao's situation. Okay, madam, go ahead. Huang Ling called Song Wuyo. Wuyo, I'm very unhappy. Huang Ling angrily said to Song Wuyo. Song Wuyo, I know. I'll talk to Magoo later. Huang Ling said, it's useless to talk to him. He's going to confiscate my phone, or else he'll cut off the internet and signal in the house. Song Wuyo, should I put you under house arrest? Huang Ling, who knows? He also said that he wants me to wash up and wait for him in bed tonight. Song Wuyo, Huang Ling, Magoo has changed. He's become the same as Qing Wanduo. Song Wuyo, Huang Ling, my phone has been confiscated. I can't contact you often. Song Wuyo, I know. Huang Ling and Song Wuyo did not say much and hung up the phone. Huang Ling handed the phone to Uncle Fu and warned him, don't be selfish and hide any information from me. Otherwise, I'll curse your son to die and your grandson to die young every day. Huang Ling knew that Uncle Fu's son had a precious son. When Uncle Fu heard this, his expression changed. He felt that Huang Ling's curse was very vicious. Huang Ling got up and walked out of the dining room. Magoo was nowhere to be seen in the living room. Huang Ling looked outside and wondered if she should leave the Mu estate at this time and run to Maupassant, take her mother with her, and never come back. Madam, do you want to go out for a walk? Uncle Fu stood behind her and asked. Yes. Huang Ling strode out, and Uncle Fu followed. Chapter 958. Damn it. Huang Ling thought to herself, is that guy, Magoo, really going to put me under house arrest? She was just taking a walk in the house, but Uncle Fu followed her wherever she went. Huang Ling sneered in her heart. Good, Magoo, you've got guts. Song Wuyo held the phone and frowned slightly. What did Magoo mean by not allowing Huang Ling to make a call and putting her under house arrest? Song Wuyo went upstairs and found Gu Yanhao in the study. She told Gu Yanhao about Magoo refusing to divorce Huang Ling and putting her under house arrest. When Gu Yanhao heard this, he immediately understood. His eyes were deep as he said lightly, Magoo should know that the explosion of the weapons was related to me and Maupassant. Song Wuyo was surprised when she heard this. Will he use Huang Ling as a hostage to deal with Maupassant? Gu Yanhao pondered for a moment. Maybe. Ah ho, let's talk to Magoo. Huang Ling said that tonight, Magoo will defile her. Gu Yanhao frowned when he heard this. Huang Ling likes Maupassant. If Magoo bullies Huang Ling because he hates Maupassant, Huang Ling will deal with him with her life. Song Wuyo's heart trembled when she heard this. Gu Yanhao looked at Song Wuyo and said in a deep voice, at this time, you should look for Qingwanduo. Song Wuyo understood immediately. Qingwanduo can save Huang Ling. K country is Magoo's territory after all. No matter how strong Maupassant is, he may not be strong in other people's territory. He may also be impatient or impulsive because of Huang Ling and be hurt by Magoo. Song Wuyo analyzed and felt that Gu Yanhao's words made sense. Although Qingwanduo was not kind, he was sincere to Magoo. The one who did not want Magoo to sleep with other women was Qingwanduo. Let Ade give you Qingwanduo's phone number. Tell her. I'll contact Maupassant. Okay. Song Wuyo went downstairs to look for Ade. Gu Yanhao picked up his phone and was about to contact Maupassant when Magoo called. Magoo's cold and unhappy voice came through. Ah ho, I didn't expect that you were the one who destroyed that batch of weapons. Magoo, don't be blinded by interests. You sacrificed the innocent people of other countries in order to strengthen your own country. I want to hear you not admit it. Magoo smiled in disappointment. You found out that I did it. If I don't admit it, wouldn't it be very cowardly? Gu Yanhao was disdainful. I thought that you would support me no matter what I do because of our brotherhood. As long as it doesn't go against my conscience, of course I will support you. For example, saving the flood, dealing with heavenly thunder, investing in the construction of homes for the poor, opening nursing homes, reducing taxes, increasing pensions. I will support you in these glorious things. No matter how much money you want, I will invest it. But I can't manufacture weapons for L country and support L country to attack B country. You can't do it. I didn't ask you to do it, but you shouldn't have destroyed that batch of weapons. Huang Ling didn't do anything wrong. She's innocent. Since you're with Ching Wan Duo, let her go. I wanted to let her go. Unfortunately, just as I was about to agree to her divorce, my people brought back news that made me angry and disappointed. Huang Ling didn't do anything wrong. What was wrong was that she shouldn't have liked Maupassant. Migu, you're very twisted. Gu Yanhao's tone was a little heavy. Are you still the Migu I know? I've always been me. I just attacked Bi country, and you're already so distressed. Ah ho, have the cunning and ambition of your previous life been eaten by wolves? Migu sneered. Don't mention my previous life to me. Chapter 959. In our previous life, you killed countless people in order to seize territory. You were even willing to kill the woman you loved the most. Now that you're pretending to be merciful, I'm very unhappy. Let go of Huang Ling, and the next batch of weapons will be successfully transported to Country L, Gu Yanhao said coldly. This was the first time he had such an unpleasant conversation with Migu after being brothers for so long. You care about her a lot. Migu's voice became colder. She's innocent. You and the country's affairs shouldn't involve her. You do care about her a lot. Migu's tone was sarcastic. Gu Yanhao frowned when he heard that. Migu. Ah ho, it seems like you're too free. Migu laughed coldly, and his tone was even more sarcastic. After that, Migu hung up the phone. Gu Yanhao gritted his teeth tightly. Damn Migu. Country L, Maupassant returned to the Mo family. The Mo family villa had a European style. It was luxurious, grand, and quiet. There were many flowers and plants in the front and backyard. As soon as he entered the living room, Maupassant took off his coat in annoyance. His slender body lay heavily on the sofa. Did that girl, Huang Ling, need to consider for so long? So much time had passed, and she still hadn't given him a reply. Was it so difficult to consider whether to divorce Migu? He really wanted to call Huang Ling, but she was considering. Was it good for him to force her like this? A woman in a cheongsam came down from upstairs. She was Maupassant's mother, Brenda. Tall and slender, she wore a cheongsam with a large rusty peony flower. She was elegant and noble. She wore a sapphire necklace on her snow-white neck, which added some splendor to this noble lady. Her eyes were glittering and bright. She was an elegant woman who was almost 50 years old, but looking at her gave people the feeling that she was only in her 30s. Her light brown hair made her look even younger. She gently stroked the carved wooden railing and slowly walked down. Seeing the man lying on the sofa, she smiled gently. Young Master Jun, you're finally willing to come back. Brenda loved her handsome son, who was of mixed French and French descent, but he looked like her and always gave people the impression that he was French. She liked to call him Young Master Jun or Sinsen. These two titles were not what Maupassant liked. He had no choice. His mother insisted on calling him that. If he resisted, she would just call him baby. He was already an adult. If his mother called him baby, he would get goosebumps. Maupassant glanced at Brenda lazily. Her sunken face was obviously a lovelorn expression. Brenda approached him and smiled gently at him. Abandoned by that homeless woman. Brenda was very gentle, unlike other Western women who looked so tall and strong. She looked over and saw that it was a delicate, elegant, and noble woman. She had a good look in her eyes and a sweet smile. But Maupassant knew that she was a woman who wore a gentle human skin but had a black belly. She could use a very gentle expression and say very shocking things to him. Mommy, I confessed to her and asked her to get a divorce. I gave her time to think about it. She hasn't replied yet. Did she abandon me? Maupassant looked at Brenda and asked sullenly. When Brenda heard this, a hint of surprise flashed across her beautiful eyes, but her voice was still gentle. The woman you like is married. She just got a marriage certificate with that bastard man. Her body is clean. Brenda asked calmly, is her husband a man who can't? Chapter 960. Maupassant was speechless. My dear mother, you don't have to say such shocking words with such a calm and gentle expression, okay? Brenda chuckled. Haven't I always been like this? Maupassant rubbed his temples. He had a headache thinking about Huang Ling. I'm strong and have such thick chest hair. That woman doesn't choose you because she has no taste, Brenda said. Maupassant raised his eyebrows. My body is strong enough, but what does it have to do with my chest hair whether she has good taste or not? Brenda smiled gently and looked at Maupassant kindly. Of course it does. The thicker the chest hair of a man, the stronger he is sexually. 3 times a night, 5 times a night, it's not a problem. She didn't choose me not because of personal reasons, but because of many people. Her parents objected. Mommy, it's a long story. I don't know how to tell you now. If it's a long story, you have to say it right away. If you don't, it'll be even longer in the future. It's rare for you to come home. Maupassant looked straight at Brenda. Do you like her? Brenda smiled. Silly. Mommy has never seen her before. I don't like her. Maupassant sat up, took out his phone, and showed Brenda Huang Ling's photos. Brenda looked at each photo seriously and commented, her smile and eyes are real and clean, not as gloomy as Li Xinxin's. Li Xinxin can't compare to her. She has dimples when she smiles. She's so cute. She should be very cheerful. You're right. What a pity. She married a man who can't have sex with her. Isn't that a living widow? Mommy, can't you do it well? Her clean body can be left to your son. Sen, do you have a first girl complex? I'm so open-minded. How can I have such a complex? That's something only men with chauvinistic tendencies have. That's good. Mommy likes it when you're like this. As long as you meet true love, as long as she's healthy, you don't care about that layer of membrane. This girl's complexion looks rosy, and she should be very healthy. She can give me 8 or 10 grandchildren. Brenda smiled. The thought of being surrounded by so many grandchildren made her extremely happy. If you like children so much, why did you only give birth to me? Maupassant asked. My fallopian tubes are blocked. I can't get pregnant, Brenda said regretfully. She paused for a moment, and then her eyes lit up. That's why Mommy hopes that you can have a few more children to satisfy Mommy's desire to have children but can't. Huang Ling hasn't replied to me yet. Therefore, he was irritated. Do I have to get a divorce to be with her? Since her husband can't satisfy her, you can satisfy her. Have sex with her and have children with her. See if she still wants to leave. Brenda smiled, but what she said made Maupassant frown. Mommy, are you telling me to mess around? What's wrong with messing around? Brenda's expression was very elegant and sweet, but when she said this, it gave people a very strange feeling. If I don't let you take care of my children in the future, they will become very evil. Nonsense, I'm the one who brought you up. Are you evil? Maupassant's eyes darkened. I'm a little lonely in the middle of the night and when I wake up early to have sex. You're already so old. You should have a girlfriend long ago. That Li Xinxin, forget about it. This. Where does she live? Brenda's eyes flashed. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.